the greatest mystery we live inside. What is consciousness? It's the feeling of being you, the inner movie playing in your mind, your thoughts, emotions, memories, and the quiet sense that you exist. Yet despite living inside it every second of our lives, consciousness remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the universe. Philosophers, neuroscientists, and psychologists have searched for a clear answer for thousands of years. Today, we'll explore what consciousness really is, where it might come from, and why science still struggles to explain it. What do we actually mean by consciousness? In simple terms, consciousness is subjective experience. It's not just processing information, it's feeling it. Researchers usually describe two main components: phenomenal consciousness, your raw experiences, colors, sounds, emotions, sensations. Self-awareness, the understanding that you are a separate self, observing the world and your own thoughts. A robot can process data, but does it feel anything while doing it? That's the real question. The human brain contains around 86 billion neurons, each firing tiny electrical and chemical signals. We know in detail how neurons communicate, how networks form, and how information flows. But here's the paradox. At no point in the brain can we point to a place where you exist. How do electrical signals, essentially tiny biological circuits, create something as vivid as pain, love, fear, imagination, or the feeling of me? This gap between physical brain processes and subjective experience is one of science's biggest mysteries. This introduces us to the problem of qualia. Qualia are the raw, private experiences inside your mind: the taste of chocolate, the redness of red, the sound of rain, the feeling of cold water on your skin. You can describe chocolate to a computer, but you can't transfer the experience of tasting it. Qualia are what make consciousness deeply personal and deeply difficult to study scientifically. We identified 5 leading theories of consciousness. Scientists don't agree on what consciousness is, but here are the most influential theories. Global workspace theory, Bars and Dehaene. Imagine the brain as a theater. Many processes are happening backstage, but only a few reach the spotlight, the global workspace where consciousness occurs. Integrated information theory, Tononi. This theory argues that consciousness arises from integrated information within a system. The more interconnected the system, the higher its potential level of consciousness. It even proposes a mathematical value for consciousness, called phi. Quantum consciousness, Penrose and Hameroff. A controversial but fascinating idea. Consciousness might arise from quantum effects inside neurons, specifically inside structures called microtubules. This would mean consciousness is rooted not just in biology, but in quantum physics. Emergentism. According to this view, consciousness emerges from complex neural networks. Just like swirling patterns emerge from simple molecules of water, the mind emerges from neurons. This is the most mainstream scientific perspective. Panpsychism. A bold and ancient idea, consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, like space or time. Everything has some degree of consciousness, even atoms or particles. Let's compare two things: mind versus brain. Many philosophers argue that the mind cannot be reduced to biology alone. They compare it to a computer. The brain is the hardware, the mind is the software, and consciousness is the user interface, the experience that ties everything together. But here's the catch. Software doesn't feel emotions. A computer doesn't enjoy a sunset or feel pain. This is known as the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by David Chalmers. This leads to a question. Can machines become conscious? This is one of the most debated questions of our time. Artificial intelligence can simulate human language, generate art, recognize faces, and solve problems. But does it experience anything? Is there a self behind the processing? Some researchers believe consciousness and intelligence are separate things. A machine could be incredibly intelligent without ever being aware. Others think that with enough complexity and integration, consciousness might emerge. The truth? We simply don't know yet. In a simple conclusion, the consciousness is the mystery behind our eyes, is the foundation of every moment you live, every emotion you feel, every memory you hold, every dream you drift through. All of it flows through this silent inner world. It shapes how you see reality, how you understand yourself, and how you connect with everything around you. Yet, despite all our scientific progress, we still have no definitive answer to one simple, profound question. Why does subjective experience exist at all? Why is the universe not just made of matter and energy, but also of awareness, meaning, and inner life? We can map the brain, we can simulate intelligence, we can build machines that think, but not machines that feel. Until we uncover the source of experience itself, consciousness remains the deepest mystery we carry within us. A window through which we observe the universe, and perhaps the greatest question we will ever face.